Petr Čech represents the true essence of overcoming. He suffered a very serious head injury after a violent blow on the field, which could have ended his career, but he came back even stronger. His determination and professionalism on the field are inspirations to anyone who has faced difficult challenges. Čech is not just an example for football lovers, but for everyone who believes that, with courage and hard work, we can overcome adversity and achieve our dreams. My name is Bruno, and let's go to another video. Petr Čech was born in Pilsen, a city located in the west of Czech Republic, on May 20th, 1982. From a young age, he showed great interest and talent for sport, something that was a hallmark of his childhood. It was not just football that captured Čech's attention, but other sports as well, which demonstrates his athletic ability. He played sports like ice hockey and handball, but it was football that ended up becoming his great passion. As a child, Čech played as an attacker and not as a goalkeeper. His first love for football began on the streets of his city, where, like many boys, he joined friends for informal games. He was skilled with the ball at his feet, and his initial dream was to become a line player. However, the change to the goalkeeper position happened in a slightly unusual way. When his team was without a goalkeeper for an important game, Čech offered to cover the position, and what started as a temporary solution ended up becoming a milestone in his career. He showed impressive skill under the sticks, something that caught the attention of coaches, and ended up defining the course of his career. His transition to goalkeeper was not just an adaptation to the position, but a true revelation of his talent and vision of the game. He quickly stood out for his agility, intelligence, and communicability with the defense. From that moment on, Petr Čech began to dedicate himself exclusively to goalkeeping, and his future in football was set. This part of the story is fascinating because it shows how football, like many other great stories, can be unexpected and full of twists and turns. From dreamy striker to extraordinary goalkeeper, Čech began his journey with humility and love for the sport, something that would always accompany him throughout his brilliant career. Petr Čech began his football training at Viktoria Pilsen, one of the traditional clubs in Czech Republic, where he took his first steps in sport and began to stand out. He joined the club's youth teams when he was still very young and quickly showed promise, mainly due to his goalkeeping ability. During his training, he developed not only his technical skills, but also his understanding of the game and the ability to lead the defense. However, Čech's big opportunity would come at a crucial moment in his career. In 1999, with just 17 years, he was loaned to the FK Chmelbosany, a smaller club in the Czech Republic which competed in the first national division. It was in this team that he made his professional debut in football in a match against the Slav Liberec. This transition to professional football was fundamental to Čech's maturation as he began to face more experienced opponents and experience the pressure of competing at a higher level. Čech's debut in FK Chmelbosany was a milestone in his career as he had the chance to gain real game experience, something essential for a young goalkeeper. With good performances, Petr gained the trust of the coaches and established himself as a starter for the team, which opened doors for a promising future. Even in a team with fewer resources and visibility, his performances caught the attention of bigger clubs, including Sparta Prague, one of the giants of Czech football. The passage through Bosany hops, it was important not only for the opportunity to play, but also for formation of a competitive character that would prepare him for the great challenges that lay ahead. His success at this smaller club was the basis for a successful career he would have at bigger teams, such as Sparta Prague, and subsequently the Chelsea in England. In 2001, Petr Čech took an important step in his career when he transferred to Sparta Prague, one of the biggest and most traditional clubs in Czech Republic. His time with the team was marked by a historic mark, which established him as one of the biggest promises in European football. During the 2001 to 2002 season, Čech set an impressive record. He spent 903 minutes without conceding goals in official competitions. This extraordinary feat not only caught the attention of the Czech media, but also led to him being considered one of the best young goalkeepers in Europe. This unbeatable record was marked in the club's history and was a reflection of his great skill under the goalposts. Not only his agility and reflexes, but also his positioning, reading of the game, and ability to lead the defense caught attention. With this performance, Petr Čech became a much talked-about name on the European football scene, and his potential was clear to everyone. Soon, in 2002, he took another important step in his career, with a transfer to international football, specifically to the Stade Rennais, already France, where he would play for Rennes from 2002 to 2004. Upon moving to French football, Čech faced new challenges, both on and off the field. Rennes were not one of the most powerful clubs in France, which meant they would have to stand out in a team with fewer resources and tougher domestic competition. However, this period was essential for Čech's growth as a goalkeeper. In Rennes, he had the chance to improve his technical skills and consistency, as well as face high-level opponents in the Ligue 1, although the club was not a powerhouse. The opportunities Čech had to play against big French teams such as Paris Saint-Germain and the Marseille Olympique helped him to mature quickly and adapt to a more physical and dynamic style of play in European football. In this environment of constant challenges, Petr Čech evolved into an even more complete goalkeeper, with a refined vision of the game, an imposing presence in the box, and a reading of the game that prepared him for the big clubs that would follow. The experience of playing for a smaller club like Rennes was also crucial for his resilience and competitive mindset. He had to learn to deal with the pressure of being in a smaller team, where expectations were different, but the need to stand out and show his quality was even more urgent. This time at Rennes prepared Petr Čech for the next big leap in his career, when he was signed by Chelsea in 2004 and entered the history of world football. Thus, Petr Čech's period in Rennes, it was not only a phase of adaptation to international football, but also a time of technical and mental maturity, where he became even more prepared for great challenges that would come, including the chance to shine on the biggest stages of world football. The career of Petr Čech took a big turn in 2004 when he was hired by Chelsea, one of the most traditional clubs in England. Čech's signing was part of a strategic move by the club's new owner, the billionaire Roman Abramovich, who was transforming Chelsea into a European football powerhouse. The club had just hired the coach Jose Mourinho, and with the new investment in high-level players, Chelsea was preparing to compete in the continent's biggest competitions, and Čech's arrival was fundamental to this. By being signed by a big team like Chelsea, Petr Čech was not only joining a more competitive league, but also taking on the responsibility of becoming the first-choice goalkeeper for one of the richest and most ambitious clubs in Europe. His impact was immediate, and he quickly established himself as one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Premier League, your reaction skill, ability to lead the defense, and game reading made him essential to Chelsea, who, under Mourinho's leadership, would achieve a new era of success. Throughout his decade at Chelsea, Čech became a key part of one of the most successful periods in the club's history. One of the biggest challenges of Petr Čech's career came in 2006, when he suffered a serious skull injury during a match against Reading in the Premier League. In a seemingly harmless move, Čech suffered a collision with the attacker Stephen Hunt, and the impact was so strong that he had to be removed from the field with severe brain concussion. The situation was extremely serious, and doctors feared for his career and even his long-term health. Luckily for him and his fans, Čech recovered with the support of an exceptional medical team. After the injury, he underwent skull surgery and had to undergo a long recovery process. When he returned to the field, he was seen wearing a protective helmet, which would become his trademark. The helmet was not only a safety measure, but also symbolized his mental strength and his determination to overcome adversity. What is most impressive about this period is that, even after such a serious injury, Čech not only returned to play, but continued to be one of the best goalkeepers in the world. The helmet, which many thought would be a burden, ended up becoming a symbol of his resilience and courage. He not only overcame the physical trauma, but also demonstrated an unbreakable mentality, proving that adversity only made him stronger. Even after 2006, Čech maintained a level of very high performance, and his career continued full of titles and achievements. The recovery from your injury, it was a testament to his greatness not only as a goalkeeper, but as a human being, showing that he was capable of facing any challenge, on and off the field. He conquered national and international titles, consolidated himself as one of the greatest goalkeepers in the history of football. Among its main achievements, the following stand out. Premier League for titles, Čech was one of the pillars of Chelsea's defense in the victorious campaigns of 2005, 2006, 2010, and 2015, always with great performances and maintaining impressive numbers of goals conceded. His consistency was one of the key points in Chelsea's dominance in the English League during these years. FA Cup 4 titles. In addition to the Premier League, Chelsea also shone in domestic competitions, with Czech helping them win the FA Cup in 2007, 2009, 2010, and 2012. In several of these finals, the goalkeeper had decisive performances, whether with important saves or with the serenity shown in crucial moments. UEFA Champions League 2012. Without a doubt, the biggest trophy of Czech's career at Chelsea was the Champions League 2012, which capped off a decade of success and dedication to the club. In the final against Bayern Munich, Czech performed incredible, especially in the defenses of penalties, including a decisive defense against Arjen Robben, who helped Chelsea win the first European title in their history. This triumph became the pinnacle of his career at the club and is one of the most memorable moments in the history of the competition. Europa League 2013. Shortly after winning the Champions League, Czech and Chelsea also won the Europa League in 2013, with the goalkeeper once again being a key player for the team, maintaining consistency in European competitions. After a decade of success in Chelsea, Petr Čech decided to give his career a new direction in 2015, when he was transferred to Arsenal. This change was motivated by several factors. At Chelsea, Čech was gradually being replaced by the youngster Thibaut Courtois, who had returned from loan to the club after a successful spell at Atletico de Madrid. Despite still being at a high level, the Czech goalkeeper knew his time as a starter at Chelsea was coming to an end. The opportunity to continue playing at a high level at a big Premier League club made Čech accept Arsenal's offer. For him, the change to Gunners represented a chance to continue his career in a new environment, where he could remain competitive and at the same time try to contribute to the success of a team in search of new titles. Furthermore, the move to Arsenal meant the possibility of being the starting goalkeeper and taking on an important leadership role at a prestigious club in a phase of renewal and reconstruction of the team. Although Petr Čech's time at Arsenal was not marked by as many achievements as his time at Chelsea, he played a significant role in the team, especially in terms of defensive. Since his arrival in 2015, Čech has brought his experience, leadership, and technical quality for a team that was still looking for stability and consistency, especially in Premier League. One of Čech's greatest achievements at Arsenal was helping the club win the FA Cup 2017, their fourth title in the competition, after a victory in the final against Chelsea 2-1. This achievement was especially symbolic for him, as Arsenal had not won the competition since 2014, and the victory in 2017 helped cement his reputation as a winning goalkeeper, capable of shining in big moments. Even in a period of fewer titles for the club, Čech's experience was crucial in shaping the defense and guiding young goalkeepers, such as Emiliano Martinez, who would later become a starter after Čech's departure. Furthermore, Čech maintained a high level of consistency during his seasons at Arsenal, overcoming injuries and showing that his longevity in the sport was due to his professionalism and his great ability to adapt over the years. Although Arsenal failed to win major league titles during his tenure, the Czech goalkeeper was a solid presence, fulfilling the role of leader in the dressing room well and helping to shape the team's defense. In 2019, after 4 seasons at Arsenal, Petr Čech decided to retire from professional football. The decision came at a time when his position as starting goalkeeper was being challenged by promising young players, and his own physical health was also beginning to demand more care. Furthermore, the rise of Bernd Leno at Arsenal and the wear and tear of a long career weighed on Čech's decision, who had also won everything he could in terms of club titles. Upon retiring, Čech left behind an impressive legacy. He ended his career as one of the greatest goalkeepers in the history of football worldwide, with a career marked by extraordinary numbers, such as more than 450 games in the Premier League and more than 200 matches without conceding goals, which places him among the best goalkeepers in the history of the competition. He also retired as the greatest goalkeeper in Chelsea history, with numerous achievements, including the 2012 Champions League, a title that was a pinnacle of his career at the club. Čech's legacy goes beyond cups and records. He is remembered as a goalkeeper with a strong mentality, leader on the field, and an example of resilience, especially after the serious skull injury he overcame in 2006. His helmet became a symbol of overcoming, and its depth of tactical knowledge made him one of the most complete goalkeepers in history. After retiring, Čech did not move away from football and still remains linked to the sport, including playing a role in Chelsea board after his retirement. His legacy remains intact, and he will always be remembered as one of the great legends of world football. Petr Čech's career is a true story of resilience, leadership, and commitment to football. Even after his move to Arsenal, where the club was in the process of rebuilding, he still managed to make his mark and be a positive influence on and off the field. His retirement does not erase his greatness, and Čech's legacy will long be remembered, not just for the titles he won, but for the way he faced challenges, adapted over time, and remained one of the greatest goalkeepers in the history of the sport.